Naughty, sneaky cruise tips and tricks every adult cruiser needs to know. So, you think cruising is all about sunsets, shuffleboard, and bottomless buffets? Yeah, no. That's just what they want you to believe. Because underneath the fancy dinners and smiling crew is a whole other side of cruising. A slightly naughty, definitely sneaky, and very adult side that the brochures will never tell you about. We're talking balcony accidents, casino traps designed to drain your wallet, themed cruises that are way spicier than the buffet curry, and loopholes that could get you tipsy before lunchtime. Oh, and the best one? You'll have to stick around till the end because it involves a late-night buffet and some very questionable behavior. So grab a drink, keep your hands inside the railings at all times, and let's dive into 8 naughty, sneaky cruise tips and tricks every adult cruiser needs to know in 2025. Number 1. What happens at sea ends up on TikTok. Gone are the days when you could let loose on a cruise without anyone knowing. These ships are floating cities with way more cameras than you think. And I'm not just talking about the obvious ones in the hallways. There are security cameras in bars, on pool decks, near elevators, even on quiet upper decks you thought were safe for sneaky late-night shenanigans. And then there are the other cameras, the ones in every single passenger's hand. Everyone's got a phone, and cruise ship Wi-Fi means your questionable dance moves or that 2 a.m. hot tub makeout session can hit social media before you even make it back to your cabin. If you cross the line, drunk brawls, breaking rules, or getting a little too romantic in public, don't expect the crew to just look the other way. You can be fined, locked in your cabin, kicked off at the next port, or banned from that cruise line forever. So before you act out your Titanic fantasy on the bow, ask yourself, would I want this moment recorded in 4K with my name tagged? If the answer is maybe not, then maybe don't. Number 2. The casino's cheeky little traps. Walking into a cruise ship casino feels exciting. The flashing lights, the clinking coins, the fantasy that you might be the one to beat the house. But here's the truth. The house has already beaten you before you've even ordered your first drink. Those win cash claw machines? Rigged. They only grip tight enough at random preset intervals controlled by the machine. The unlock the prize with the key games, same deal. It doesn't matter how steady your hands are, the machine decides when the key will actually fit, and good luck figuring when that is. Then there's the slot machine twist. Unlike land casinos, cruise ship slots don't spit out a cash voucher. Your winnings just go straight to your cruise card. Convenient, right? Wrong. It makes it way too easy to just keep spinning until those winnings disappear right back into the machine. Oh, and if you forget to insert your cruise card, some ships make you wait for a staff member to hand pay you, which gives you plenty of time to, you guessed it, keep playing. Moral of the story: set a budget, stick to it, and don't assume you're James Bond. You're more like the next passenger funding the ship's fuel bill. And speaking of risks, your balcony might be giving the riskiest view of all, and not in the way you think. Number 3, balcony bliss, or balcony peep show. You've splurged on a balcony cabin. You're picturing yourself sipping wine at sunset, letting that warm sea breeze hit you in all the right places. Maybe you're in a towel, maybe you're not in a towel. Because hey, it's your balcony, right? Wrong. Your private balcony is about as private as the middle row at a Beyoncé concert. Those dividers between balconies, yeah, they're basically gossip portals. You can hear every conversation your neighbor is having, which means they can hear you. And don't get me started on the ships with tiered decks, because that means the people above you have a perfect view down into your balcony. They could be sitting there with binoculars, and you'd never know. Well, unless they wave. Even at night, you're not safe from accidental exposure. Cabin lights plus glass reflections equal a live, glowing display of whatever you're up to out there. And trust me, there are people who find that very entertaining. So here's the tip. If you're planning to sunbathe au naturel or get a little romantic, keep the balcony lights off, keep the voices down, and maybe, just maybe, save the really private stuff for indoors. Unless, of course, you're fine with your next-door neighbor knowing exactly why you were breathing so heavily last night. Number 4, housekeeping sees everything. You might think of your cabin steward as the friendly person who tidies up, replaces towels, and leaves those cute towel animals on your bed. But don't be fooled. Your steward is basically the cruise ship's version of MI6. They notice everything. You left your underwear hanging from the light fixture? They've seen it. Forgot to put away your special toy before heading to breakfast? They've seen that too, and probably had to move it just to make the bed. Oh, and that secret stash of alcohol you thought you cleverly hid inside your suitcase? Yeah, they found it on day one. Here's the awkward part. If they spot contraband booze, they're required to report it, which means your precious bottle of vitamin water might disappear before you've had the chance to toast sail away. And don't think they don't talk. The crew bar is basically the cruise ship's confessional. And your cabin could easily be the subject of tonight's "You Won't Believe What I Found" story. So, do yourself a favor. Keep anything embarrassing out of sight, lock valuables in the safe, and maybe stop treating your cabin like a crime scene. That way, when you bump into your steward in the hallway, you can at least pretend you're both innocent. Before we continue, can you do me a huge favor? If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me out so much, and it tells YouTube that more cruisers need to see these tips. All right, let's keep going. Number 5, themed cruises get interesting. So yes, nude cruises are a thing. And no, you won't just accidentally wander onto one while looking for the buffet. These are full ship charters booked specifically for people who are 100% on board with the idea of letting it all hang out. Now, before you picture some kind of 24/7 poolside adult film, most of these trips are more about body positivity, sunbathing without tan lines, and the freedom to skip laundry for a week. There are still rules. Clothes in the dining room, clothes during port visits, and absolutely no photography without permission. But otherwise, if you want to stroll to the bar wearing nothing but a smile, go for it. And nude cruises are just one category in the very large catalog of themed sailings. There are swingers cruises, fetish cruises, cosplay cruises, you name it, it probably exists. Most mainstream passengers will never even hear about them because they're marketed through private groups and specialty travel agencies. But they're out there, and they book up fast. So, moral of the story? Always read the fine print before you hit book now. Because you might think you're signing up for a relaxing Caribbean getaway, and instead find yourself explaining to your in-laws why nobody on the pool deck is wearing pants. Number 6, short cruises, big chaos. Not all cruises have the same vibe. If you're on a 3-night sailing out of Miami, Orlando, or New Orleans, congratulations. You've basically signed up for a floating frat party. Short cruises tend to attract younger, rowdier crowds, people celebrating birthdays, bachelor and bachelorette parties, or just looking for a cheap weekend bender. These are the sailings where the pool deck turns into a full-on nightclub by 2 p.m. Someone's already lost a flip-flop overboard, and you hear the phrase, "shots, shots, shots," more times than you hear, "excuse me." It can be wild fun if you're into that kind of thing. All-you-can-drink packages being put to the ultimate test, questionable tattoo decisions in port, and conga lines that somehow end up in the elevator. But if you booked this cruise thinking you'd be quietly reading on deck with a glass of wine, you're in for a rude awakening. On the flip side, longer cruises, a week or more, tend to attract a calmer crowd. You'll see more retirees, seasoned cruisers, and families. The vibe is more about scenic excursions and elegant dinners than beer pong tournaments. So before you book, ask yourself, do you want a mini vacation or a 3-day, no-sleep, why did I drink that much tequila? Blur. Choose wisely. Of course, nothing gets a little wild like this next tip. And let's just say it involves drinking rules that magically change depending on where the ship is. Number 7, the drink in port loophole. On most U.S. sailings, the drinking age is 21. No exceptions. Doesn't matter if you're 20 and look like you've got a mortgage and 3 kids. The bartender is still going to tell you no. But here's the fun part. The second that ship docks in Mexico, the Bahamas, or most of the Caribbean, the legal drinking age magically drops to 18, which means if you're 18, 19, or 20, you can legally order that margarita at a beach bar, and nobody's batting an eye. Sounds great, until your 3 rum punches in, sunburned, and realizing you forgot the name of the pier your ship is docked at. And if you roll up to the gangway too drunk, security can and will deny you entry until you sober up, which could mean watching your ship sail away while you're sitting on the curb in flip-flops, wondering how much a flight home costs from the Bahamas. So, yes, enjoy the loophole, but pace yourself. Drink water, eat something, and maybe, just maybe, keep enough brain cells functioning to get yourself back to the ship on time. Number 8. The 3 a.m. buffet isn't just about food. The late night buffet. A safe haven for anyone who's been dancing, drinking, or just up watching bad karaoke until 2 a.m. You're thinking about grabbing a slice of pizza or maybe some fries, but here's the thing. Not everyone is there for the food. By this hour, the buffet is where the after crowd gathers. People fresh from the nightclub, slightly wobbly from the drink package they've been abusing all day, and in the mood for something. Sometimes it's just greasy food. Sometimes it's a little flirtation over chicken tenders. And sometimes it's drama. Loud breakups, slurred pickup lines, and the occasional, "I swear I'm not that drunk" declaration, seconds before someone drops their plate. If you're just there for a snack, keep your head down and your plate full. But if you're in the market for late-night chaos, grab a seat in the corner, enjoy the free entertainment, and remember, whatever happens after midnight on a cruise probably ends up in a Facebook group the next morning. And that's it. 8 of the naughtiest, sneakiest cruise tips every adult cruiser needs to know in 2025. If you liked this one, you're going to love my next video. It's all about the real reasons cruisers are actually getting denied boarding. Some of them are shocking, some are downright ridiculous. And you might want to check your own booking after you hear them. I'll see you there.